I'm somewhere past Thika town and officially in Murang'a County. The famous River Chania, which is the boundary between Murang'a and Kiambu County, is just a few meters behind me. Well, there's a small town ahead that I want to explore, some 10 kilometers from Thika town and 53 kilometers from Nairobi city, that goes by the name Kabati. It is just a small town of 10,000 strong. In fact, the official number is 10,200 people. I'll be getting there in a few seconds, but as usual, let me show you the map so that you can know where I'm at. I hope you can see the blue star. That is Kabati. The immediate town after Kabati is Kenol, which is another town in Murang'a County that is growing very fast. I'm told this road is the entry point to Mount Kenya region. So shout out to all Murima people. These countrysides of yours is quite beautiful, I tell you. Well, I'll be hitting our town of the day in a few seconds. We will be exploring the town by going around, seeing what kind of businesses people are doing there. We'll also be checking at the numbers, the official statistics. The town has also produced a lot of prominent people. I'll be giving you the list. Plus, I'll also be giving you the land prices for my investors. So stay tuned until the end. And as you can see, I've already exited the highway. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. It is absolutely free, but means everything to us. You can also check with us if you want a private tour of your area, just for memory purposes and also for investments. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet in Kabati town in a few seconds. I'm just a few meters outside the town and I had to come here. I just realized that I was going against the sun, which is not good for the camera. But so far so good. I'm already in love with the place. The village kind of vibe is something else. I think it is a place of churches. You can see a very big one there. I don't know the name. But there's another one here. If you can see. It's going by the name Living Faith Ministries. Kabati. Now I'm making my way into the town from Murang'a side. And this road that I'm about to join, on my right is Kabati town, and on my left are various villages and towns in Kandara and Kegumo constituencies. The road can take you to a very popular road, the locals called Nyoka Nyoka Road. I'm not sure whether you have heard about that, which goes all the way to Kangema and to the Aberdares forest. Anyway, that's a story for another day. I'll be taking you there someday. But first, let me show you the Kenyan map so that you can understand the local geography. So the red region is the Murang'a County, which is one of the 47 counties in Kenya. The county is very small in size, but quite huge in terms of population. With a total of 6 constituencies, we are in Kandara constituency. It is a very interesting region. I'll be telling you more about that. But first, let's explore the town. So the town's original name is Kafati. I don't know whether I have pronounced it right, but the locals, whom majorities are Kikuyus, pronounce it that way. So initially in the old Kikuyu language, letter B is pronounced as letter F. And so for Kabati, they'll read it as Kafati. So Kafati in Kikuyu is iron sheets. And so history goes that a few decades ago, that is in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, when most houses in the region were grass thatched, one guy in the area had his roof made of iron sheets. And because the town is just next to the highway, the Nairobi-Embu highway, so most people could see it when traveling up country. and they named the area Kabati. So from that humble beginning, we have this big town now. I'll be turning right so that we can explore the town further. It is good to check whether the growth we see along the road is cosmetic. You know, some towns developed along the road, but when you go inside, there's nothing. But it seems like that is not the case for Kabati. In fact, it seems like this is the old town. The town started here. I can see some very old buildings with some models that were quite popular in the 80s and 90s. This must be also the drinking area of the town. I can see a lot of bars and also a lot of young men. I don't know why most investors in drinking joint choose back streets. But it seems like modernity is catching up. You can see the modern building on my left. It's quite a huge investment. It seems like soon the old on my right will give the way to the new. But the road is too narrow. Someone somewhere must have grabbed the road reserve. Either the new investor on my left or the old timers on my right. Or maybe the town was designed that way. I'm not quite sure about that, though it is not common. The small town has a total population of 10,211 people, where 4,984 are men, while 5,227 are females. And so in terms of gender distribution, we can say the females have a slight majority at 51.2% of the total population, while males are at 48.8% of the aggregate population. There is also a slight number of the intersex, coming at 0.8% of the total population, and that is according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics. In terms of the population density, there are 1,102 people living in a square kilometer. In terms of the infrastructure, you can see that the town is well developed. Almost every road is tarmacked. I can also see electricity is everywhere and businesses are thriving. This is another back street, which seems to be a bit busier than the last one we checked. There are some very nice businesses around, especially this Mali Mali one. I know the sun is somewhere up there. We are kind of facing it. But worry not, we'll be changing the direction in a few seconds. It seems like the mattress business is something else in this town. I have spotted a lot of shops selling the commodity. Anyway, so far so good, but the roads are a bit narrow. Sometimes you are forced to squeeze ourselves around. I can also spot the market area. It is right in front, on my left. I will also be taking a left turn to go back to the main road. I'm sure you can see the market on my right. It is an open air market. It is quite busy. I can see they're selling almost everything. Shoes, bags, clothes. Just name it. Even some empty containers. Or are they jerry cans? Like the one this guy is carrying. I can see some on my left. Quite useful for water storage. Maybe the town has some problems with water. There's a hypermarket across the street. It's probably the biggest in town. It's going by the name the county supermarket. It seems like serious investors are choosing to invest in these small towns in up countries. I can see the open air market extends on my left, but this one is for fresh products. This is a small town, but it is self-contained, I can tell you. Anyways, I want to turn right. I want to see whether the town extends down there. I also want to quickly check at the real estate segment, the land purchasing value and rent prices in town. And as usual, I did my good research. I saw half an acre, which was up for sale going for 6 million Kenya shillings. That one was touching the tarmac. I also saw another one, a 40 by 90, which is slightly less than an eighth of an acre, going for 1.4 million Kenya shillings. I also saw a quarter of an acre, going for 3 million Kenya shillings. I'm sure you have done your quick maths and realized that a plot of 50 by 100, which is an eighth, is going for 1.5 million Kenya shillings here in Kabati. I'm still having a good time in town, and one thing that is very interesting is the good roads. The place has some of the best beautiful rural roads I've ever seen, and remember this is a village town. And remember I told you this is in Kandara constituency, which I remember for having this lady as area MP for the longest. She goes by the name Ali Sohome, and I'm told she is currently serving as a CS. She is probably the Minister for Lands and Housing. I'm not so sure with the title. There is also this gentleman. He goes by the name Professor Njuguna Ndungu. He served as a central bank governor for the longest. He also served as a CS for finance in the current regime, but he lost his job some few months ago. The Lords know why. He comes from this area. It is also good to know that Kandara is a very fertile area. It grows almost everything. In fact, the pickup truck in front of me is ferrying avocados. They grow in plenty here. Probably they are coming to a market near you. Before I forget, there's another legend that came from this area. He went by the name Bildad Kagia, one of the Kapenguria 6 that were arrested in 1952 and released in 1961 together with President Jomo Kenyatta. I'm sure the list of great people from this area goes on and on. So if you come from Kabati or the larger Kandara area, please add 1 or 2 legends that come from your area on the comment section below, and we'll appreciate. As you can see, I'm exiting the town. I'll be joining the Thika-Embu highway in a few. The town of Kenol is about 2 kilometers from here. I'll be heading that way. The town is also in Kandara constituency, so I think it is good if I give you the numbers for the constituency. I told you it is one of the 6 constituencies in Murang'a County. Well, Kandara has a total population of 175,098 people, with a population density of 746 people living in a square kilometer. The population is growing at a rate of 1.1% per year, which is quite slow. And so we can say it's like the population has stagnated. In terms of gender distribution, 50.5% of the aggregate population in Kandara are females, meaning they have a slight majority, while 49.5% are males. In terms of the intersex, these are the people born with both genders. The entire constituency have 7 of them, which is practically a very small number. But one of the major factors that really caught my attention as far as the numbers are concerned here in Kandara constituency, it's on age distribution. A few years ago, there was an old saying in Nairobi, especially if you go around calling people old. Like if you are saying hi to an old person and you go like, "Hey mzee," which is Swahili for an old man. They will tell you that the last old man is in Kabati, simply insinuating that there is no old people in Nairobi. And that seems to be true, since according to the numbers, this is one of the areas with most old people. For instance, according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, 9% of the total population in Kandara are aged 65 and above. This is amazing. It seems like there's a high chances of longevity here, as most towns are visited This number is at most 2%. In fact, about 4,000 people are aged 80 and above here in Kandara. Well, I think the old timers here in Kandara should give us the secrets. Well, I'm rushing to County 021, that is Murang'a County, and I'm interested in particular with this one town, which is the fastest growing town in Mount Kenya region. I'll tell you more about that. The Daily Nation, which is one of the most authoritative newspaper in the country, refers to the town as the dangerous Las Vegas of Kenya. Partying, heavy drinking, gambling, prostitution, and fine dining are some of the major aspects that the writers compare with the US Las Vegas. The town goes by the name Kenol, so let's meet there in a few seconds. So the town of the day is about 10 meters from here, so we are in the outskirts. I'll be taking you around the entire town. I will also be giving you some interesting facts and the numbers about the area. Like for instance, did you know that 3% of all the males boys in Murang'a aged between 12 and 15 are married? I'll be telling you more about that. This is the point where we leave the highway. You can see it on my right. That is the Keno-Nyeri highway. While this one that I'm following is the Keno-Murang'a highway. But don't forget that the two roads meet again in Nyeri town. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the famous Keno town. And I think it will be nice if I show you the map so that you can know where exactly I'm at. There you go. That's the beautiful map of the surrounding area and Keno town at the center. And the big water body you see around, that is Masinga Dam, the biggest dam in the country, which is used for hydroelectric power production. Well, I got to the town like an hour ago, just had lunch and spoke to some few old timers. There are a few things I wanted to know about the town from the locals. I did that in camera. Quite unfortunate I did not show them here. But remember, village to town is about places, not faces. And by the way, shout out to you all for always supporting Mr. Lone Traveler without caring whether my face is blue, green, purple, whether I'm short or tall. That's crazy love, and I appreciate it. So I want to explore this beautiful town from this road. This is the road that goes all the way to Murang'a town. I don't know how to explain it, but on my right is Murang'a town. There are also some towns like Sabasaba. There's another one called Maragwa. And by the way, shout out to one Aizo. And another old timer called Njogonawa Evergreen. They are always on my case as they want me to visit that particular town. Of course, I'll be doing so very soon. But before then, let's hit Keno Town Center, which is right in front. As I told you, this is one of the biggest towns in Murang'a County. In fact, it is surpassing Murang'a town, which is the capital of the county. And apart from the population, one of the major aspects that is making this town to surpass Murang'a town is infrastructure. Remember the famous Keno-Isiolo highway is just next to the town? It is just a proposed 330 kilometers long superhighway. And in fact, the first phase is complete, which is the Keno-Marwa dual carriageway. Also, the only shopping mall in the county is in town. And also a lot of nyama choma joints. It seems like goats and beef are the major cash crops here. The growing town has a total population of 44,086 people. That's according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics. And in regarding to gender distribution, females form a slight majority, as usual, at 51.9%, which is equivalent to 22,876, while males come in second at 21,209 people, which is approximately 48.1% of the total population. And in terms of the intersex, only one person identified with the group in town. I want to turn left as I want to show you this part of the town before I show you the rest. I will also be going to the interior part of the town and also the other side of the highway, which is rarely covered. But in the meantime, let me officially welcome you to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent of Africa. I go by the name Mr. Lone Traveler, just an ordinary, lonely old-timer who only finds solace in visiting lonely places. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. It is absolutely free, but means everything to us. You can also check out our sister channel, which is Kikuyu Traveling Media. Well, back to the video. So far so good. The town looks nice. It is quite busy. And I can see everyone is going about their business. I can see it is a busy one. And the state of infrastructure in town is perfect. You can see the internal roads are well tarmacked. Electricity is everywhere. Also businesses are thriving. Like for instance, I'm a bit far from the town center. And I can see businesses on both sides of the road are doing quite well. The town was established in the 90s. That was after the construction of the road that goes to Murang'a town. I'm sure that most old-timers can recall that. Back then, if you wanted to go to Murang'a town from Thika or the Nairobi side, you had no option but to use the Nyeri-Nairobi highway and go all the way to a place called Sagana. That's where you'll find the road that branches off to Murang'a town. But that is long gone, although the road is still there. But at the junction of the old road and the new road, there used to be a popular petrol station that went by the name Kenol, after which the town was born. Now you can see how big and beautiful the town is. The good old book tells us never despise small beginnings. And Kenol must be a perfect example, brethren. Trust me, I'm loving the place. It is quite developed. I can see beautiful apartments all over. I even get the feeling like I'm somewhere in Kiambu County, which is just next to Nairobi City. The land is also quite fertile. It is super gorgeous. You can see right in front. It seems like the maize season is not far from now. I will also be giving you the land prices in a few. So my investor friends, both current and aspiring one, stay tuned. We are just getting started. I'm still having a good time in Kenol town. It is a beautiful evening here. The sun is setting. Let me check the time. It's around 4:40 p.m. this beautiful month of June 2025. And it is good to remind you that we are still in Murang'a County, County 21. And the area is called Mitaboni, not Mitamboni, in Kandara constituency. And just as a fun fact as usual, let me show you the beautiful flag of Murang'a County. And you will tell me whether it is a miss or a hit. Just write to us down on the comment section below and we'll appreciate. I can see the highway right in front. That is the Kenol Marwa Dual Carriageway. It starts right here at Kenol, and it serves most towns in Mount Kenya East such as Embu, Meru, Maua. It also goes all the way to northeastern Kenya and to Moyale, which is the border town on the Kenyan-Ethiopian border. It is a major one. You can also see the type of businesses that are in town. These are huge investments. Auto Express Garage, Bata Shoe Company, Oppo mobile phone distributors. These are top Kenyan brands, and you can see that the town future is super bright. Well, I want to turn around and hit the highway. We want to see the status of the town along the highway. You can also see some shanties right in front. Those are small-scale traders along the highway. And mind you, they play quite a significant role as far as building the economy is concerned. I'll be giving you the numbers later concerning the economy, especially regarding the fact that Murang'a County is considered as one of the richest counties in the country. In fact, they say that in every 10 billionaires in Kenya, 8 come from Murang'a. We will see whether that is a fallacy or the truth from the numbers. Of course, I'll give you the official numbers from the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, and you be the judge. So this is the famous highway, and I also want to go to the other side of the town. Remember, the highway cuts the town into two. Unfortunately, I don't see a flyover or a roundabout ahead. Maybe I'll have to go to Nyeri, some more than 100 kilometers from here, just to turn around. Well, I hope it will turn out that I was just kidding. So let's meet on the other side of the town with more numbers on poverty rate, land prices, some more interesting facts about Murang'a, and I will also take you to the village side of the town where the people lives. Well, I'm making my way to the other side of the town, and this seems to be the residential area. I'll be turning right in a few seconds. Just to go deeper and see how the people lives. I also want to see whether the town is only developing at the town center. So it seems like the small road is under construction, but in terms of private development, I'm just wowed. You can see the numbers of apartments on my left, and all seems to be new. I can also see more right in front. It seems like every investor is running to the town. Well, Murang'a County is a county of 1,060,000 people. It is one of the most populated counties in the country. In fact, it ranks position 18 out of the 47 counties in Kenya. You can see the list. It is right after Kitui County. Quite interesting, right? In terms of the fertility rate, that is every woman that has attained the age of childbearing. The average is 3 children per woman. That is slightly below the national average, which is at 3.4 children per woman. Not so bad. I think we are doing right as a country. In fact, I'm told some countries like South Korea have very low fertility rate, officially at 0.7 children per woman. That tells you that it is even rare to find a woman with 1 kid in that country. Well, Nigeria has the highest. It is a country in the Sahel region. The average is 6.1 children per woman, and that is as of 2023. So with Murang'a at 3.2, that's quite a good one. I can see the lady on my left is about to add to that statistics. Bless her. I can also see more beautiful kids all over. I think the town is living up to the numbers. Well, I'm still amazed by how fast this place is developing, and especially the number of the new apartments. I think it would be only fair if I give you the land prices. So let's quickly check out the real estate segment before I give you more numbers about the town. Well, I saw 3 plots of land in town measuring 40 by 80, all listed by different sellers in different parts of the town, each going for 650,000 Kenya shillings. What a coincidence. I also saw 50 by 100 going for 1 million Kenya shillings. That's an eighth of an acre. I also saw a quarter of an acre, which is 100 by 100 going for 1.9 million Kenya shillings. And I'm sure with that information you can estimate the price of any plot of land in town. For instance, it is easier to see that an eighth of an acre is going for 1 million Kenya shillings, a quarter is going for 2 million, and a half is going for 4 million. And so an acre is going for 8 million Kenya shillings. Well, I want to turn around. I might keep going and find myself in Somalia. But let me quickly give you the prices for rental apartments in this town. I saw 1 bedroom going for 9,000, a 2 bedroom going for 12,000, and a 3 bedroom house with own compound going for 30,000 Kenya shillings per month. It is also good to know that Thika town is only 12 kilometers away from here, which is just an 11-minute drive. So I want to give you more numbers on poverty rates in Murang'a County as you explore the residential area. So according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, Murang'a County's overall headcount poverty rate as of 2022 was 30.1%. So that means that in every 10 people you meet, 3 people are poor in Murang'a County. So the county is above the national average. Remember, the Kenyan overall poverty rate is at 39.8%. And so about 4 out of 10 Kenyans are brokies. And remember, there are 2 rates of poverty as far as the Kenyan government is concerned. So we have the poor people and the hardcore poor. Now, which are brokies of brokies? So the government estimates that Murang'a County has a hardcore poverty rate of 2.5%. So this is about 29,000 people, and this is relatively lower than the country's hardcore poverty rate of 7.1%. And so you can imagine a national average of 7.5 and that of Murang'a 2.5, and you can see that Murang'a is doing quite well. While the estimated number of people living in food poverty in Murang'a is 26.3% against the national average of 31.7%. So I want to share the poverty rate in Murang'a by constituency as of 2019, and the poorest is Maragua, leading at almost 25%, and that is understandable. Some parts of the constituencies are a bit dry, and the richest is Gatanga constituency with only 12% of the people living in poverty. So another piece of statistics about this county that really caught my attention is on teenage marriages. So according to the national government, the proportion of married males aged 12 to 15 years in Murang'a County was 3% as of 2022. Well, 3% is quite a small number, but I honestly never thought there was a boy aged 15 that was married in any part of the world. By any chance, that a minor? And by that age, you are very young to face any marital problems. But such is life. Well, in terms of their female counterpart, the proportion of married females in the same age group was 3.2% in Murang'a County. Also note that 4.5% of all the females aged 12 and 18 in Murang'a County are married. Those are kids, for God's sake. Well, the rate of teenage pregnancies in Murang'a County, comprising of women aged 15 to 19 who have ever been pregnant, was 7.4% as of 2022. Well, some shocking numbers right there, but let me leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching this far. It was a pleasure having you in the beautiful town of Kenol, Murang'a County. So before I leave the town, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent of Africa. Also like the video so that it can be recommended to as many people as possible, and smash the notification bell so that every time we post, you will be among the first few people to be notified. Also tell us, what do you think about Kenol Town? Will you consider living here? Just keep the conversation going, and especially if you come from this area. Just drop a fact or two about your town and we will appreciate. Also don't forget to check our sister channel, Kikuyu Traveling Media. Thank you.